All right, so let's talk about a day in the life of a software engineer. So today, I'm going to be showing you a very important aspect of what a day in the life of a software engineer actually looks like by one, telling you about something called stand-up, which is something that you have to do every single day as a software engineer. And two, I'm going to be showing you a video clip of me doing stand-up with the students in my coding bootcamp. So, if you don't know, my name is TJ, and I'm a self-taught software engineer that teaches beginners like yourself how to code by being your mentor and using a heavily project-based approach to teach you how to code. You can go to my website to learn more about my coding bootcamp, and all that information will be down below in the description of the video. So, let's talk about stand-up. When you become a software engineer, stand up is a meeting that you're going to have to do every day with everybody on your engineering team. And the purpose of this meeting is to keep everybody updated on the status of the work the team is doing by going around in a circle and everyone gives an update on what they're working on. And in this update, you basically just need to answer three questions. And those questions are, what did you work on yesterday? What are you working on today? And do you have any blockers or things that you need help with? So I have a lot to share with you in terms of stand-up and just how to do stand-up as a coding beginner. But instead of telling you, I'm going to show you by having you watch the stand-up session that I just had with the students in my coding bootcamp. So make sure to watch this video all the way to the end because one of my students named Barry that got a job as a software developer while still in the coding bootcamp, Barry's actually in this meeting and he's going to be sharing some insight into what starting his first job as a software developer was like so that you can have an idea of what to expect when you start working in tech. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more insights like this and like this video and comment below any questions that you have as you're watching this video.
Spencer, hey man. All right, well, we can get started. So today, this is going to be a daily stand-up call. And now everybody should be kind of familiar with what stand-up is now, right? Does anyone here not quite know what?
Yeah, I haven't done anything with stand up yet.
Okay, no problem. So when you start working as a software engineer, when you have these things called daily stand-up, which is just kind of like a basic status like update meeting that you have with everybody on the actual engineering team. And when you give your update, when you basically answer three questions, what have you been working on? What do you plan on working on next? And do you have any blockers or just anything that you need help with?
Yeah, okay.
All right. And actually, let me kind of write that down. So that is in the chat. So yeah, we are gonna go around in a circle. So just kind of like briefly say your name, what like city or state that you're like based in, and then answer those three questions essentially. And I guess this time, yeah, we can actually start with Spencer.
Hello, my name is Spencer Ernst. I am from Mason City, Iowa. I started a little while, about the end of the last year, and I'm currently working in Module 3. I restarted recently in Module 3 because of work obligations and because I work in agriculture. So now that that's wrapped up finally, uh, I restarted Module 3 and I'm just getting into the function problems. And I hope to be setting up a meeting with TJ soon. As far as blockers go, I can't think of any right off the top of my head other than continuing to work on memorizing methods
Okay.
and things along those lines.
That's good. That's good. And really, I think the main blocker from what I talked to you about was your schedule. So now that things have played up,
Yeah.
that should be a lot easier for you. So that's good.
Yes.
Peter.
Yeah, hey everyone. My name is Peter. So right now I'm currently working on Module 4, and I'm working on the To-Do app. And the To-Do app has really been kicking me in the butt because there's been so many components that like I have to think about, and yeah, just bringing everything together and yeah, trying to implement everything together. I think that's what's so complicated about what I'm doing right now. But I think everything is gonna go well because I've been getting help obviously from TJ, which is good because he's been there and he's been guiding me and all that stuff. I would say guess that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
No problem. I'm sorry, continue.
Yeah, I said the blockers that I have, yeah, it's just yeah, right now I'm just working on my delete button. I think
That's
that's
good.
the only issue that I have with my app, but yeah. So.
Okay, good. So you like got the functionality to be able to create a to-do and to save it working and refresh it working, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're pretty much like 85% done at this point. So that's good. And as soon as you finish the delete one, you like look back and be like, oh, like it was that this whole time. So you'll be fine. Helen, you gave a deep sigh.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Helen, and I'm in the Netherlands. So I'm working on module 4, the quiz app. Right now, I don't really have any blocker. I've done the HTML. I'm about to do the JavaScript. So when I start it, that's when I will have problems.
That's no, you be fine. You said you have problems. No, you've been doing good. You've been doing good. Desiree.
Hi everyone, my name is Desiree Jacko. I work as a registered medical assistant by trade. And what I have been working on right now is project 1. What you're working on next is to jump into the next project. But I have to master the project 1. And do you have any blockers? For when I have blockers, I always email TJ, has been responsive. Thank you.
No worries. No worries. Jeff, what's up, man? First time.
Hey, yeah. Nice to see everyone. I'm Jeffrey. I'm in North Carolina, in Charlotte, and I'm actually in Module 5 right now, and I'm working on Project 3. Blockers right now for me are just trying to manage what I'm working on in this project and still trying to retain everything from the previous projects because the projects now or the project I'm working on now is pretty intensive for me. So it's taking a lot of my time. So I'm not able to have as much time as I'd like to be able to go back and make sure. But I'm basically time management is kind of the blocker for me. But it's slowly coming.
Not bad, not bad. But so you've like finished the other projects in module 5, right?
Right.
Yeah. How like do you feel looking back on those like projects now?
Well, since everything kind of builds on it, when I'm working on this one, it's not as intimidating as it was before
That's
because
good.
like everything it's kind of built. So when I'm working on something, I'm like, oh, okay, I can look back at this, or this looks like something that I've kind of done before. It's just trying to apply it to this specific project I'm working on now.
No problem. No problem. Barry, how you doing, man?
Hey everybody, I'm Barry Walker. I'm in Austin, Texas, and I am also working on. I'm in the React unit in Module 5, and I'm working on. I think it's also Project 3. It's the components project, and so it's got all these different components that you put together, and it's kind of building towards what TJ has lined up for me next, which is the Hacker News app. And so I've kind of kept that in mind as I'm learning this. I'm not getting ahead of myself, but I've kind of thought of like, how will I use this thing I'm doing here in the next project? And that's kind of been helpful for me to put some pieces together just as I'm learning it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it can feel like you're learning these little pieces, and sometimes what's most satisfying is when you're able to tie it all together.
Yeah.
And so for blockers, one thing I've been working on the whole time, and TJ was helpful with this, is talking about code. And TJ gave me some great tips on how to practice that. You know what I mean? Because I'm working on this module by myself, and though I'm a web developer, I work on a really small team, and so much of what we do, I can talk about code a little bit with my colleagues, but honestly, mostly we got our heads down and we're just working. So my biggest thing I'm working on is talking about my code, and so I'm even doing that through the modules as I'm working through them, and I'm taking notes in such a way that in my code in such a way that I can look back and I can kind of talk myself through it, so that when I'm looking back at the previous projects that have built towards what I'm working on, I can read through it and it makes sense and it can serve me.
That's
kind
good.
of like Jeff was talking.
That's good. Do you work in the office with the engineering team, or do you work from home?
No, I'm in the office. It's hybrid, but I
Oh,
mostly am
hybrid.
in the office. Yeah, it's about 4 days a month telecommuting.
Oh, 4 days remote.
Yes, it's really only about one day a week that I'm remote.
Man, these people are getting slick. Okay,
I
okay.
know, I know. I don't like it, man.
Okay. Can, do you kind of see like pros and cons with like working in the office versus working from home for like your first like engineering job as a whole?
Yes, and specifically, like you said, as a young developer, it really does help me to be in the office because even though I do work on a really small team, I work with two other more senior developers, and so I'm really able to ask them some questions. And there are other development teams that I don't work with directly, but they're really generous with their knowledge, and that, they know that I'm young in this career, and so they're always going out of their way to offer help, and so that's
Okay.
really helpful.
That's good. If I may ask you one more question, can
Sure.
you kind of touch on what starting a job as an engineer is like? Do they like do they task you with like trying to build like a big feature when you first start, or are they starting you on like smaller tickets and just kind of helping you to like ramp up essentially?
Well, that's a good question. My experience, is just my own, and it's the only one I've got. So I can't say how it is everywhere, but I can say how it seemed before I got this. It seemed, honestly, I'm 46 years old, and it still seemed pretty intimidating moving into this. And it seemed like it was easy to think they're gonna just throw me in the deep end, sink or swim. You know what I mean? And it's just a grinder that just toss me aside if I can't make it. And it was exactly the opposite. Everybody was really kind with the fact that I'm a junior dev, and they gave me tasks they brought me along, you know what I mean, at the right rate. They gave me tasks that I could accomplish, and things that if I had questions, they all made themselves available, and so it's been really great.
That's good. That's good. Thank you for that insight. Joshua, what's up, man?
Hey, TJ, I'm doing good. Hello, everybody. I'm Joshua. Barry, your story, man, is very inspirational, dude. I love that. I'm trying to get to that level, and I really appreciate being part of this class and TJ, being so helpful and everything. But my story, I'm basically right now I work as an innovation solutions analyst. So we do like a lot of data visualization, data analysis, and does require us to do like some light coding, like HTML, CSS stuff. But I wanted to join this class because I wanted to kind of like go more in depth into this software engineering career, maybe potentially get into like some UI, UX stuff. But I kind of just wanted to give, folks like some context as to why I'm in this class. Currently, I know this is a stand-up meeting, so I just finished up project one, actually. I was having some trouble with it at first because of the formatting issue, like in the testimonial section. So I had reached out, to TJ on that part. And basically in my style sheet, the section where you say, let me pull it up real quick. Basically, when you're using the display flex to sort of format the way that the page looks, the testimonial section wasn't working for me where it looked a little bit, I guess, discombobulated. We had gone over it together and, TJ was saying, well, you don't need to put the display flex property onto the testimonial section. Exactly. You just need to put it onto that main container that houses the testimonial section, which in my case was named container 2. So once I got rid of that particular part, like I took out the testimonials from the display flex property within my style sheet, then reloaded the page. And so now it looks the way that I want to. So I'm happy about that. And so I can sleep easier at night now and move on to the next projects and assignments.
Thank you, thank you. That actually made me think of something I was working on with Jeffrey a couple of days ago. So we were working on this React Spotify application. And it was like taking time to kind of figure out like the issue. And we ended up discovering that the issue was a space. Like, he basically forgot to
Oh,
put like a space, like, I don't know how to, like, an actual space between two words. And that's what was causing the error, so that's pretty typical of engineering, where you'll spend hours just stuck on something. And then when you have, someone come join you and you end up seeing the issue, it's something very minor. Because I was telling him, I spent like 3 hours trying to solve a problem one day and realized that I never clicked save. So I was just like typing code, but I never saved the code changes I was doing. So it wasn't showing up. But anyways, yeah, man, like, I am very proud of all of y'all. Like, everybody is making really good progress in their own lane. So don't like compare where you are in a program to where anybody else is. Like, everybody here, just from me knowing everyone, like, everyone has a completely different background and a completely different schedule, family situation, and life. So like, just always kind of just focus on like what you're doing and your own progress, and just keep pushing forward from there. Okay. But yeah, y'all, this is stand up. The way that I was kind of like stopping you guys, asking questions or giving feedback, etc. That's how the actual engineering manager on your team will be kind of like stopping you, asking like follow-up questions on just projects and stuff that you're like working on as well. So it's good that you guys start to practice this and just get comfortable kind of like engaging with your teammates like this. Especially if your first job is going to be remote. This is really going to be one of the few meetings where you see the other people on your team. So, this is going to be a good chance for you to, show face, engage with people, and just kind of learn about people. So it actually helps to try to show up to these meetings a bit earlier. I'm not saying anybody was late. I'm just saying, if you show up maybe like a couple minutes earlier, you get to just kind of have the typical water cooler talk that typically happens in the office. You tend to have that here. Anyways, y'all, that's it. I'm not going to take up too much more of y'all Saturday. Enjoy. And Peter, be safe out there in Thailand. Bring me back some food, please. All right, y'all. Later.
Thanks, guys. Take
Thank
care.
you, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
All right, so thank you so much for watching. I hope that you got a lot of really good insight into what stand-up is like when you start working as a software engineer. And if you're interested in learning how to code with a mentor, my goal in this coding bootcamp is to get you prepared for what learning and working as a software engineer is going to be like. That way you can hit the ground running when you start working as a software engineer. So make sure to check the description of this video to learn more about my coding bootcamp and learn more about working with me as your mentor.